Hi, hi. Today we are discussing about the Informatica Power Center Designer. So using Designer, we are developing the mappings. Means here we are importing the sources and targets. In between source and target, we are implementing the business rules. So from source to target, if you want to pass the data from designer, we are preparing the logic in between source and target. So from that mapping, we are passing source data to the target. Okay. So first I'm opening the designer. Then we'll see how we are importing the sources and targets into the designer window. Go to start, all programs, Informatica Power Center, and this client, in client Power Center Designer. So here first we are importing the sources and target from the database. After that, based on the business requirements, we are implementing the logics in between the source and target. So first connect to the repository, then you will get all the tools in the designer window. Click on repository. So administrator is the super user here. With administrator, connect to the repository. Okay. So here we have two folders, dev and test. So this is completely empty folders. There is no sources, no targets, no transmissions, maplets or mappings. So these are the fresh folders. We are importing the sources, targets, and we are preparing the mappings in folders. So connect to any one of the folder. Now I am connecting to the dev folder. Right click, open. Okay. So now we connected to the dev folder in REP1 repository. So in tools, we have source analyzer, target designer, transmission developer, maplet designer, and mapping designer. So source analyzer, to this source analyzer window, we are importing the sources from different databases. So if you want to import from the relational database, just create a driver to connect to the database and import the tables from SQL Server, from Oracle, like that. Or if you want to import XMLs, just go to XML path and select the XML file, import, like flat file also. So based on the sources, we have to create different paths or different drivers. Using the drivers, we are importing that source structures into the designer window. Okay, that is for source analyzer. We are importing the sources into the source analyzer window. And next is target designer. This is also same like source analyzer, but in source analyzer we are importing the sources. In target designer we are importing the targets, heterogeneous targets, like same like Oracle or SQL Server or DB2 or Teradata, files, XMLs, Excels, any type of source and target. Just we have to prepare that connection. Using that connection, we can import that source and target structures into designer window. Right? The next one is transmission developer. So transmission is, it's a repository object. So if you want to pass any records into the target, or if you want to apply any condition like filter, department 20 or designation name something, hiring date is something, date of birth is something, like that. If you want to apply any logics, we are using transformations. We are applying business rule, we are preparing business logics using transformation. In different scenarios, we are selecting different type of transformation to implement that logics. Here, the transformation developer is a reusable concept. For example, so you are preparing some mappings and other people are also preparing some mappings. So you are preparing the same logic, the other people also require that same logic with the same transformation. Okay. So at that time, you can use same transformation in different mappings. So we can reuse the same logic. Instead of creation new transformation, we can reuse the same logic using reusable transformation. Okay. So in detail, with example, we will discuss in the next classes. And next, Maplet Designer. So Maplet is also same like transformation developer. So here, if you want to use only single transformation, if you want to reuse single transformation, then we can create reusable transformation in transformation developer. If you want to reuse the combination of multiple transformation, for example, if you want to build a logic, it's a reusable logic for other people also, other developer also. So that in that logic you are using multiple transformation. So at that time you can create a maplet, the combination of different transformations for your logic. So that logic is same for other users, means other developers. The same maplet we can reuse multiple times in any mapping. Okay, the transformation developer and maplet designer both are reusable things. We can reuse a number of times in a number of mappings. Next, mapping designer. So this is the major here. So after importing the sources and target, here we are preparing the mapping. Mapping means in between source and target we are preparing logics. Means we are applying business rules there. Okay, so now we can switch source analyzer, target designer or transformation maplet mapping using tools option in menu, or you will get the icons here. So you can switch to other tools using this icons also. So here just observe the menu. Now we have sources, we are in source analyzer. Just go to target, you will get targets, transformations, maplets, mappings. Okay, so automatically the menu will change according to the options. Now we are in source analyzer. So now I want to prepare one database connection. Using that database connection, I want to import some tables into the designer. So here the important point is, like we are working with structures. We are not working with the data here in the designer. Only structures. Okay. So now I'm going to source tab in menu. Here you have different options. Import from database, import from file, import from COBOL, XML, PeopleSoft, CBIL. So different types of options you have, right? So based on the database type, you have to choose different options. If you want to import from SQL Server or Oracle, we have to create relational database connections. If you want to import from any flat file, just import from file. COBOL related COBOL, XML is XML. Okay, so now I'm importing a table from Oracle database. So to connect to the Oracle, now I'm creating a driver to connect to the Oracle database. So click on import from database. So here click on this data browse. So from this data browse we are creating a new connection to connect to the database. Click on that. System data source name. Click on add. So now we are creating Oracle. Select Oracle related. Click on finish. Enter any data source name. This one is I'm using source. TNS is Oracle DB. This is Oracle database name. So I'm importing here Scott related tables, Scott user tables. Just I'm checking Scott is available or not in the database. Scott test connection. Scott password is tiger. Click on OK. So connection is successful. The Scott already existed in the database. And click on OK. Again OK. So now we have that connection. Use that connection and connect to the Scott user here. Scott, tab, enter, password. Right? Now we have Scott user. The tables are here: bonus, DPT, AMP and sal grade. If you want to import multiple tables, select at a time, or if you want to import single table, select single table and click on OK. Okay, so now we got the table. So in this table we have employee number, employee name, job, MGR, hire date, salary, commission and department number. So here we can see what are the columns we have, what is the data type, what is the size of the columns, everything, and what type of database the table is. So if you want to import the flat file, after importing you will get like flat file, SQL Server, Teradata. The database related name it will display here. So easily we can identify which type of source it is. So like this we can create multiple connections and we can import the tables or files or anything. Okay, so after importing you will get the table here. The source database connection we used, using that connection we imported the EMP table here. Okay, so now source is ready. We have to create the target. So in real time the source and target will be ready because the DBA people will give the sources and targets. So automatically just we are connecting to the databases, we are importing the source and targets. But this is the training session. So now I am preparing a target, EMP target. After creation of the table, just I am generating the table in the database. If you have already the table in the database, just connect to the database, import the target. Otherwise, if you want to create a target related to sources structure, just go to target designer. So here also you will get all options: import from database, file, XML, TIBCO, different options. Otherwise, if you want to create, just click on create, select database type, select table name, and you can add the columns. So one other way we have, just drag and drop this EMP Okay, just I'm creating the same structure. I already said we are working with structures, not with data. Same columns we got here, just I'm changing the name, emp underscore tgt. Same data type. If you want to change the data type, just click on this, just change the data type. With the same structure, the table will create in another database. So here you have columns. If you want to add any columns, just click on this, add new column to this table, change the name, change the data type, we can add. If you want to remove any columns, just we can cut the columns from the table. If you want to copy paste, you can copy the same column, you can paste the column. You can move the columns in up and down directions, the order of the columns. And one more thing, we have the primary key, foreign key, primary and foreign key options. So in this table, the employee number is the primary key, and here this one is not null. If any column, if you want to load only data or not null values, just enable this. So like this, we can create the same structure using create option, or you can drag and drop the source into target designer, then automatically it will create the table with the same structure. And so now target table is ready in the Informatica designer, not in database. Just I want to generate this table in the Oracle database. The table is available here because we created this table here in Informatica designer. So we have to generate this table in the database, then only it will available in the database. Okay, so now I want to generate this table in Scott user. Go to target, generate and execute SQL. So create table with primary key option, connecting to the database, the same database we are connecting to the Scott user only. Scott and Tiger, connect. So now we connected, generate and execute. So before doing this, just observe here in output window, you will get the syntax of the table, query of the table to create emp underscore tgt in Scott user. Previously we have 4 tables in the Scott user: bonus, TEPT, EMP and sal grade. Now I am creating one more table in the Scott user. Okay, generate and execute, click on this. So now you got this structure, the query create table emp tgt, employee number not null, e-name, job, NGR, hire date, salary, commission, department number. Click on close, save it, Control S, go to SQL, just check the table is created or not in the database. Connect to the Scott user, Scott and Tiger, connector, select star from tab. So sal grade, EMP, DPT bonus, these 4 are previous tables. Now we created a new table EMP TGT. Select star from EMP underscore TGT. It's a new table, no records in this table. That's why we got no rows selected. It's a fresh table, just now we created. So like this, if you have table in the database, we can import from the database. If table is not available in the database, we can create from target designer. So now source and target both are ready. Just I want to export I want to pass the records from EMP source to EMP target. This basic mapping. Okay, go to mapping designer, create a new mapping. Mapping, create. So here we have naming convention, same nothing but it's a mapping name. It's indicator, like it is a mapping, it's an indicator. Okay, the source type database and target type of database, and this is basic mapping, basic load, right? Basic load. So if the source is Teradata, just we can make it like Teradata relational related thing, and target is Oracle. We can select the target Oracle database name and the mapping description, basic load. Okay. Okay. New mapping is ready. We have to drag and drop source and target into mapping designer. EMP source and EMP target. With the same structure here now, we are preparing this mapping. So same columns, everything is same here. So here one thing, this is source definition and this is target definition. So we imported this source from database and we created this target from this target designer. And this one is like default transmission. So when you're dragging the source, automatically you will get source qualifier. This is default transmission. Using this transmission only, we can pass the data into the next level. Means into the target or into the other transmission we can pass. So that's why automatically when you're dragging any sources, it will create. This is transmission. So here we have lot of properties and it is very flexible to improve the performance. So those are the advanced things I will explain in the further classes. Now we have source and target. In between we have source qualifier. From source qualifier we have to pass all the columns into the targets. Means these are the physical pipelines. Using physical pipelines we are passing the data into the targets. Okay, so select all columns, just drag and drop from here to target. Okay, from source to we are passing data to the target. Go to mapping, validate, go to repository, save. So this mapping is a valid mapping and we save this mapping related metadata in the repository database. So I am repeating the steps. Connect to the repository, connect to the folder, just go to source analyzer, import source from database, go to target. If you have, import from database. Otherwise we can generate the table from here to database also. After source and target you have to prepare the mapping. Into this mapping first we need to drag and drop the source and target. When you are dragging the source, automatically we will get the source qualifier. The source qualifier, the default transmission to pass this data from source to other levels. So from source qualifier just we drag and drop all the column links to the target definition. So these are the physical pipelines. Using these physical pipelines we are passing the data into the target. So now we are up to now we work with the only structure. We are not touch any data. So for this mapping execution we have to create sessions and workflows in workflow manager. So in workflow manager we have to mention which database source we used, which database target we used. So based on that connections, the reader threads will read the data from the source and the loaded threads, they load the data into the targets. Okay, so this is the mapping part. This is completely code developing designer. In the designer we are developing the code. In between, after source definition, after source qualifier, we are applying so many business rules. After source qualifier, if you want to apply any other logics, just we can go to the transformation, we can create new transformation related to requirement, we are applying other conditions. Okay, so the next class is on workflow manager.